What did you learn to love of your partner? Is there something that you didn't like before meeting your partner but you started to like it because of them? Myself. We just broke up because he is emotionally abusive. I learned to love myself because I am a good person and I deserve to be loved, regardless of how much he tried to make me feel I didn't. Cats. I love his cat and would never have chosen to date someone with a cat. But my boyfriend is my neighbor and we fell for each other during COVID. So love chose us. Cat and all. Formula 1. I always dismissed it as cars going around in circles meaninglessly, but now that I've gotten into the backstories, teams, drivers, etc., I'm the one that drags him to the TV on Sundays. Having my meal ordered for me. I'm a very independent person and I used to hate it when guys would order for me, but my fiancé asks what I want beforehand and always know exactly what I like. He does a lot of that old-fashioned stuff like opens all my doors, pulls out the seat, cute little things I've grown to love and appreciate in a new light. Naps. Before meeting my partner, I never took naps, not even as a young child, according to my mom. I didn't see the point in napping, it seemed like something only lazy people do. But oh Lord, did my man turn me around on this. Now, I'm the queen of naps. I have all the accoutrements, too: weighted blanket, soft fuzzy blankets, eye mask, sound machine, diffuser, blackout curtains, etc. Oh man. I'm getting sleepy just thinking about it. My thighs. They used to be a little on the chubbier side and there's certain people who've made comments about it. Been super insecure ever since that. I did end up losing a little bit of weight because eventually I started working out and starving myself sometimes, not proud of it. For some weird reason I'll still don't understand. I could never look at my thighs and think they weren't chubby, even though they weren't. Then I met my boyfriend and he told me how much he loved my thighs and though they were beautiful. Every time we sat next to each other, he always touches them in the most loving manner. I've learned to love them as well, thanks to him. Although I do wish I could have learned to love them on my own terms and not because of someone else's validation. Still, feels good to not be so insecure about it anymore. My body and being a mom. Football. Never watched it and actually held out for the first several years of marriage. But now I am a huge NFL fan. Is no one going to say anal? Pirate metal. Marvel movies. His dog. I hated dogs, absolutely could not stand them. So annoying, yappy, jumpy, dirty, smelly, dumb, I could go on. But now I spoil his dog and she loves me because I take her on long walks and sneak treats more than he does. She is my precious angel baby. Video games. Up until I met him, my experience was with side-scrollers like Super Mario Bros. Where you die over and over and have to start over. Those kinds of games send me into a meltdown. Then I saw him playing Elder Scrolls Oblivion, an open-world RPG where you can be anything and do anything, and I got hooked. Chess. Hated the game, but now I play it with him and it's one of my favorite things. Dogs. I had a dog phobia. Now I am obsessed with our doggy baby and want to always have at least one dog companion for the rest of my life, or at least until I can't care for one independently. Heavy metal. Country music. Camping. AV rural scenery, farmland, agriculture, etc. He spent years living on a ranch, raising and caring for cattle and chickens, mowing and putting up hay, etc. I was born and raised in coastal towns, going to the beach, maybe went to a truck farm for a field trip once. Since we married we have always lived on acreage, small, have tractors, horses and cows and related chores and hard work. I love driving through flyover states now that I understand what I'm seeing. The care of animals, land, crops, pride in their property, big or small, expense, inventiveness, stick-to-itiveness, long-range planning, etc. It can be a hard life and not easy to break into it unless you were born to it or rich. We can't afford that life, but managed to move to a couple acres and fixed it up. Myself, he tells me I'm beautiful or just like touches me, not in a gross way but affectionate. I hated myself and my mental health a lot. But he has pushed me beyond what I thought I could do 2 years ago and I'm forever grateful for him. He pushed me more than my friends do. It means a lot. Calculating a monthly budget. Computer games, loved them as a kid, then had a long break, then rediscovered and fell in love again in my 30s. And I'm definitely more accepting and loving towards my body, which is awesome. I still don't give a crap about watching sports on TV, but he definitely got me into hockey in real life. I love going to games of any level. It's an entertaining sport and the vibe is fun. World of Warcraft. My perception of myself. He's a kind, compassionate, non-judgmental person. He's authentic. He's who he is, no matter where he is or who he is with. You don't have to like him. That's fine with him. He's not going to fault you for it. He's not going to treat you differently. He's not going to try to change your mind. He's going to accept it and go about things perfectly normal. It was mind-blowing. For me, people can be who and what they are. Feel what they feel, negative or positive, and that's okay. It doesn't have to affect how I'll feel. It doesn't have to change anything. They are responsible for their actions and their feelings. I am not. I don't have to make people like me. It doesn't mean there is anything wrong with me, anything I need to fix or do. Some people simply don't care for a certain person or personality, and that's okay. I spent my life before him trying to be all the things for all the people, to be accepted and loved on their terms. He taught me to stop, to love and accept myself, and let others feel however they choose without it impacting how I feel about myself. Food. I used to be super picky when I was a younger teenager, and I would be reluctant to try new foods. Over time, I learned how to love all kinds of food, and now I try something new almost every time we go out together. I love trying new places to eat, new entrees, and now I know what I actually don't like because of trying new things. Hiking. I used to hate it before we got together, but now I find it really rewarding when you reach the summit and enjoy the view. We've stopped now during the winter, but we used to go at least once per month. Movies and video games. Never understood why people loved them and I hated them so much. I didn't get quality time with those activities as a kid. I spent most my time stepping up as a parent for my brother. Down the line I learned to love them with my boyfriend. Watching him be so amused and experiencing something new with someone I adored was priceless. I finally understand how things like this pull people together and bring out so many opinions, plus you need great communication to win video games. Pretty dank experience. Moe's Southwest Grill. I even gave him an apology. I never gave it the time as I'm a picky eater. Now I love it, except the salsa, which I maintain is tasteless. Steak quesadilla with queso top tier. The luxurious life. Always thought fancy cars and houses were meaningless. He's well off and lives in a nice house and drives a Porsche, and I realized I want to have the joy of driving around in a nice car one day and going to fancy restaurants too. And I realized wanting to be rich doesn't automatically mean I'm shallow. My scars. At first, to me, they were just reminders of how broken I am. To him, they're indicators of my strength. Now, to me, my scars are stories. They're stories about how I survived the most dangerous situations, and made it out of the lowest of my lows. Mushrooms. He's a chef. Before we started dating, he secretly made a list of foods he found out I didn't like and tried to prepare them for me in different ways to see if he could change my mind. He spread it way out over time and he didn't catch on until he told me he was doing it like a year later. I still hate oysters, but I totally turned a corner on mushrooms. Brussels sprouts too. Those things are RAD. Food. My boyfriend is big into cooking and he's great. I didn't have a good relationship with eating, but now, it makes him so happy to see me eat the food he made and tell him how delicious it is, and it always is, and I love trying it now. I love eating his food and trying new things and the whole shebang. This might sound weird, but movies. Sure, I liked some movies, but I could never sit through a damn movie without doing something else or getting bored/falling asleep. He loves movies. Total movie buff. He showed me National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation and all those fun childhood movies that I just don't recall watching. Watching how much fun he has watching them as a grown man just makes me feel happy. Now, I watch movies and really watch them with him. We like to watch psychological thrillers and then talk about it. Driving safely. We met when I was 20 and I was a fast driver, always in a hurry from point A to point B. Getting with my husband changed all of that. He has always been a safe driver. Now I drive safely and enjoy the drip. If I was able to go back in time and ride in a car with my younger self, I would be terrified. All my friends say I'm the best/safest driver they've ridden with. That is a huge point of pride for me. To be impulsive, I grew up harsh, so I'm hyper vigilant, super planner, and just harsh on myself. Before my husband, if I wanted to do something impulsive like I don't know buy a dress just because, I would tell myself no, every single time. So much so that when I meet my husband, I had one pair of jeans because I worked 5 days a week with slacks and had sweats for cleaning day, and a dress for Sunday, so 0. One pair of jeans in case I had to mow the lawn. He made me kinder to myself. Still not the greatest, but now when the impulse hits to I don't know buy that shiny thing or just go for a drive, I do it. Introversion LOL. But besides that, he's expanded my food horizons. Used to never eat eggs, of any kind, or chicken wings, and I love both now. He's really into cars, and while I won't say I'm super into them, I have more of an interest now. We also watched Initial D, anime, together, and I was surprised at how much I really loved the show. Video games. I'd played them a lot when I was young and fell out of it as I got older and into high school. My BF is an avid gamer and loves them, and he got me back into them. We play together almost every night, and our date nights consist of watching each other play games and lots of cuddles. We love it. Also, music that I never thought LD listened to: Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Tame Impala, etc. Food. My parents barely cooked from scratch. It was always cereal, microwavable food, and sandwiches growing up. My husband opened my taste buds to many new things, including sushi, onions, fresh vegetables, seafood, and more. Other people. My girlfriend is the most supportive person I know, to everyone. She is such a cheerleader. She is constantly saying way to go, to others. Literally. I think that I had spent many years feeling surly and sarcastic, and she makes me a better person and lets me see the best of others as well. World of Warcraft. We're both currently boycotting Blizzard due to the hostile work environment against women. But LD be lying if I say I didn't miss it. The two of us just used to run around in the game and mess around. I didn't think LD love it as much as I do. However, sometimes you need to let your money, or in this case, the lack of giving money, speak for you. It's one of the only ways to enact change within a company anymore. Quietness. And to be alone. He loves to just I don't know, be to himself. To sit and think and meditate on things. To be comfortable with just himself and his thoughts. I used to always need something going on, somewhere to go, something to do, someone to hang out with. He just slowed me down, but in the best way.